Welcome to today's motivational session. And so I'll be taking us through the first section of the book I was reading. What got you here won't get you there. And in this first section, they're divided into 3 chapters. We have the chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So yeah, I'll just go straight to it. So from chapter 1, it was talking about you are here. And then it made mention of sometimes there are certain people that they don't even need anybody to guide them. Like they have everything figured out. It's just like there's this instinct feeling. He referred to that instinct feeling as they have this GPS, inbuilt GPS. When you are not sure of where you're going and then you have a GPS in your car or the vehicle you boarded, and then it's just so easy to get to your destination because the GPS points you to the right turn, the left turn, and all of that. We shall not just like Nigerian roads typically, but then in a more structured environment, GPS are never wrong. So he referred that to a person, some group of people that they naturally have all of these and they just know the right thing to do, the next thing to do at the right time to do it. And then I was saying if you're in that category of people, then you might not know this book because really you have everything figured out. But to be honest, um, most of us do at some point seem like this. But along the line, we seem to have lost that inbuilt GPS. And that's what this book is all about. So it says some people have a strong inner compass. They know who they are and what they value, like I already said. And then as success grows, many lose that sense of direction. So yeah, as I said, at some point we all had that inbuilt system in us that at the very next thing we know what we're doing and then everything is just figuring itself out. But it gets to some point that we feel like we've achieved some stuff and before we know it we lose track of what exactly we know. Like we lose track of our sense of direction, and that is what this book seeks to explain, seeks to inform us about, seems to bring back. So it says one of the things that actually causes this loss of sense of direction is that self-awareness fades when feedback decreases. So sometimes we lose that sense of direction, not because we're careless, not because we get so overwhelmed, but most times it's because we've lost that part of feedback. And so in this book we'll be talking a lot about feedback. And so that was it basically for chapter 1. It's an introduction chapter, so not to drop too much on that. And then we have chapter 2 that was talking about enough about you, and then he was talking, he briefly introduced himself, and then he went into it and said, success is no longer about your technical skill, it's about your relationships. So at some point while building, one thing about this book is, when I was reading through this book, I was like, okay, this book seems to be more like someone who's already up there and then wants to get better. And then I like, where have I gotten to? And I don't know, you might ask us some question like, you're not yet there like that in that top leadership position, so what exactly are we talking about? But then you might want to take a pause and don't look at it as just that top that they're talking about. A top can be anything. A top can be, oh, that friendship you have. A top can be that relationship with your colleagues. A top can be that responsibility you've been given you've been given to be in charge of. And so just have an open mind, because really at the beginning of the book I was like, I don't think this book is for me, but then if you could just have an open mind, then I might be able to get along with what this book is talking about. And so it says success is no longer about your technical skill, it's about your relationship. So at some point in life, of course, even currently, all we're still looking out for is, oh, I want to get that skill, I want to be good in Excel, I want to be good with presentation, I want to be good with article writing, I want to be good with financial analysis, I want to be good with financial modeling maybe, and a lot of things like that. Skills, technical skills, we want to get that. We want to be, at least when we write it on our CV, like, wow, this one knows what he or she is doing. But then they also made us understand that it is beyond just technical skill. it gets to some point that technical skill is not really what matters. Everybody knows you have that technical skill, but beyond technical skill, what is it with your relationship with people? And so it says feedback shows how others perceive your behavior. So you get to that point where people know you are good, but still yet they might not come to you. Still yet they might not reach out to you. Not because they don't think you can handle it, not because they don't think they can discuss with you, but because probably your attitude, how you relate. And so it says feedback shows how others perceive your behavior. So you might feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm doing my best and all of that. But then it really takes other people to say their point of view for you to actually know if what you think your behavior is really what it is. So you might think that, yeah, I'm open to anybody, good, I'm kind and all of that, but there might be something others are seeing that you yourself probably cannot see, or probably just that it's nothing. So feedback is one important thing the author kept emphasizing on. And then he mentioned the part of listening and empathy are your new superpowers. So you get to that point, you've gotten as much technical skill as you can, and then the relationship is what matters now. How do you now go about that? So is that one thing that matters when it comes to relationship is listening and empathy. The act of listening is something that we continually have to master. You don't get perfect in it in one day. You can only know what someone is talking about when you're actually listening to them, not just hearing them. You could hear what someone says and not listen. Listen is you, okay, you really want to know that person's point of view. You really calm enough to hear what that person is saying and process it. Most times we listen just so we can also give our own to back. Before the person finish landing, you already give your own. But listening actually takes what's this person talking about? And then you really look into that person's perspective and not just to give a response. Sometimes you don't even have to respond. Sometimes the response does not have to be the one you already have in your mind. No matter what this person says, this is what I'm going to say. But you're responding based on what the person says and not as a point of attack. And then it also say empathy. Empathy. We've been talking about emotional intelligence is one of the new topics that has been going around in the public space. Everybody has been saying know how to control your emotions. One of the best intelligence you can have is emotional intelligence. And one key attribute of emotional intelligence is actually empathy. Empathy is exactly what helps you to be emotionally intelligent. So what does this empathy mean? We all have different definition of empathy, but I would just say empathy is being able to consider what the other person thinks or who the other person is. So you're not just doing something because it pleases you. You're trying to look at things from the point of view of the other person. Someone said empathy is not really compassion. Empathy is not really... There are a lot of words people have used for empathy, but empathy does not mean that you're just being caring. No. Empathy is actually looking at things from the other person's point of view. Even if at that particular point you cannot be of direct help, but you're not trying to increase the person's burden. So someone is coming to you that, oh, this is a situation, this is this bad, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's not for you to come and say, what is there that I can do? Empathy is actually looking at it that, okay, could it be that this thing is too much for this person to undo? Could it be that, oh, I'm being too hard on this person? What exactly? You might think that, but this thing is not that hard now. It's something I do. But for the other person is in you. So I would also say empathy is seeing people as they are, not what we want them to be. And then on to chapter 3, it talks about success and its dilutions. And then it said success builds confidence. Very good. Success is sweet. Success makes you more confident. Success makes you more confident about yourself. You feel like, oh yes, now I can do it, I did it. But then it also blinds us to our flaws. So oftentimes when we start getting those results we want and we're happy, we feel like, yes, we're finally getting there. But sometimes we also find out that it blinds us to our flaws. We tend to overlook those things that we know ordinarily we would not want people to associate us with. We tend to like say, all that matters is that I'm getting the result. So the attitude, every other thing does not matter. And then we just keep on going, achieving more success. But these are dilutions that, if not properly treated, all that seem like that success might actually just get drained off. And then you mentioned 4 major points that we have, the 4 success beliefs that hold us back. And one of it is, I have succeeded. The second one is, I can succeed. The third one, I will succeed. The fourth one, I choose to succeed. And so this belief fuel ambition but block humility. So one major aspect of this success and dilution is that aspect of humility or pride. So the first one says, I have succeeded. I have succeeded. Some people feel like I have gotten to where I want to be. So what is my business what people think about it? After all, it wasn't their thinking, their thought, it wasn't them that brought me here. I have gotten what I want, so what more do you want to say? And that is one big dilution that can actually spoil the years of all the hard work that has been put into getting that success. And then the other one is, I can succeed. And this one is talking about like, no matter what anybody say, I can do it. What is there? I have the capacity. I have the capability. I have the capacity. I can do anything. I can succeed. Maybe I have succeeded before. I can succeed. And then that dilution is good to be very positive. It's good to be confident of yourself, but not at the expense of humility. Not at the expense of thinking you can do it all by yourself. And that's why this book is majorly about how you can do better, but now not just by yourself, with the help of others, with the feedback you get from others. And like I said at the beginning, it's talking majorly about feedback. How do you handle feedback? How do you even get this feedback? And then the third one is, I will succeed. These ones are optimists. They believe that no matter what happens, they can succeed, which actually is good. But when you're so obsessed with just your own perspective, when you don't even want to see if that you're wanting to succeed by all means will have an adverse effect on someone else, then these are success beliefs that at the end of the day, yeah, you might actually succeed in it, but it comes at the expense of other people's emotions, other people's abilities, and it just has its way of dealing with other people, which might not get you satisfied at the end of the day. And then the fourth one, I choose to succeed. So this one is saying that if you like, say you're not going to help me. If you like, say you're not going to give me your input. No matter what, I have chosen to succeed. And so I will succeed. I can succeed. In fact, I have succeeded. All of these affirmations, they are very good. But it's just that we need to be conscious of the fact that all of these beliefs, they are not driving us up to the point of pride. All of this should be in consideration of what will it cost others for me to succeed in this. If it's at the expense of other people's happiness, other people's help, then we just have to be careful and reflect on it. Thank you very much for listening.